What is up, my friends? You are very welcome along to tonight's unmuted late night agenda. See, I'm on point. I'm ready to go. I love the reminder in the chat as well. That's what I need. Let me know. Make sure my dumb ass knows that I can't be on mute before the stream. And even though I know I'm not on mute, I'm still looking down and checking to make 100% sure I'm not on mute. But appreciate you guys being here as always. Apologies I'm a minute or two late. My daughter has just come back. Haven't seen her in a week or so. So just saying a quick hello before we jump onto the stream. JC Galvanil was straight in gifting 5 memberships. We love that, JC. You big sexy. Get you. Welcome in. And I hope you're a fun time. It's Friday. The weekend has started. We can officially look ahead to tomorrow's game against Burnley at Anfield. Another big game in our season, and one that we've got to win, of course. Jumperman said, "What's up, my friends? Great 6-month chat, mate. Welcome in. Great to have you with us." Jared Boner nothing says, Mulderor. Look, mate, you know I'm a fan of Jared Bowen, but I gave up the ghost when I heard that West Ham were putting 100 million valuation on Jared Bowen a few months back, I think it was. So, you know I'm a fan of his, but I can't see it happening. If that's the realistic number that they want, then surely there's no way on earth Liverpool or anyone's going to pay that as good as Jared Bowen is. So, loads for us to get through tonight. There's a lot of transfer talk, which I find very strange considering, as I said earlier on today, we still don't know the coach, the sporting director, the formation, and lots of other bits and pieces. But we'll go through it nonetheless. We'll, of course, ask you guys for your thoughts ahead of the game against Burnley tomorrow. As we know, there's a bit of an outbreak of flu or a bit of a virus going around the Liverpool camp. So, not sure exactly who's going to be available for that one. I'm sure we'll get a surprise tomorrow when Jurgen breaks the starting 11. But one thing we can say for certain is Mohamed Salah isn't ready to come back just yet. Obviously, we know Thiago Alcantara is out. Matip is out. Still no news or no sign of Bendo getting back to fitness yet. Or obviously, Stefan Bajcetic is looking like the whole season could be a miss for him, which is a huge amount of football to be missed. Other than that, I think we're all right. Robbo's back, and I think he'll start. I do. I have a feeling Andy Robertson will start. And the good news as well is we get one game a week here. Not good news for us as fans, but good news that we don't have any midweek European action because, of course, Liverpool won the Europa League group, meaning that we don't have to go through the playoff round that's coming up on Thursday. So, again, Jurgen will get a full week with the lads, building up to the Brentford game, which is a 12:30 kickoff next Saturday as well. So, we shouldn't have any fatigue issues or any tiredness issues over the next couple of games because the boys will have had plenty of time to work on the training pitch, recover, and it's one of those rare sets of fixtures for us where we don't have a midweek game. Who's the one winger you want to sign the most? Said Daniel. And thank you for your question, Daniel. And thank you for your super chat, my friend. The one winger I want to sign the most. It's probably Bowen. It is probably Jared Bowen, if I'm being honest with you. I'd say Jared Bowen I'd happily have at Liverpool. Pedro Neto, if the injury concerns were behind him, I'd happily have at Liverpool. Kubo, you know, I wouldn't mind seeing at Liverpool either, but I don't know if that's likely. I've always been honest and said I'm not up to date on Bakayoko. I haven't watched much of him. Nico Williams of Athletic Bilbao would be a nice target, but he signed a new contract. But we will be talking about him tonight because he has been linked once again. I think they're the ones I can think of off the top of my head anyway, but I'd like to know who you guys would like to see. You know, if indeed we do lose Mohamed Salah, or even if Liverpool are just in the market for another attacker, who would you like to see brought in? What's this from Mark? So Fabrizio Romano has a bit of an exclusive. Said Liverpool talent Kieran Morrison set to sign new 3-year deal at the club despite being linked with a move away last summer. The 2006 born midfielder, that makes me feel so old, lads. 2006 born, 1 year after Istanbul, wow. Has verbally agreed to a new contract, so soon it'll be time to renew the documents and announce, said Fabrizio. So there we go, bit of an update on one of the younger Liverpool players. I'd like to see us go in for Ricky Lambert. He's busy, mate. Back to the painting and decorating. He's working away at it. So no, unfortunately, Ricky won't be coming in. Mbappe or Wirtz? Well, it looks like Mbappe is going to Real Madrid because every day that goes by, it looks like the chance of that happening is going up. Wirtz, I don't know. I don't know what to. I don't know what to make. Look, if I'm guessing what happens with Florian Wirtz, I would say he ends up at Bayern Munich. That would be my guess. Now, whether if Alonso comes into Liverpool, he'd like to take Wirtz with him, and Wirtz would fancy the trip to come across and play in the Premier League. Brilliant. But the mumblings I remember from a few months back were suggesting that Florian Wirtz's most likely move will be to go to Bayern Munich. Question. I'm in college and it's about who do you look up to, and I'm wondering, can I do you for my PowerPoint? Absolutely. I mean, I'm humbled. If anybody looks up to me, wow, thank you. I'm just a normal dude, mate. But you can, of course. I mean, happy to, mate. If you need any questions answered, let me know. I've done loads of these over the years. Lots of people who've been in college studying journalism and stuff like that have reached out and asked for interviews and stuff for the college course. Always happy to do anything that helps the next generation of talent, broadcasters, journalists, whatever come through. Be an absolute pleasure. What about Adeyemi to Liverpool? Ooh, Adeyemi. Now there's a name I haven't thought about in a while. Kareem Adeyemi's a very good footballer. I find it really difficult at the moment to just discuss transfers because there's so much uncertainty. Like, if we knew Jurgen was still here, yeah, we can have these transfer conversations a lot easier because we know the likelihood of who's coming in and who isn't. But I just don't know. I don't know at the minute, lads, because I don't know what style of football we're going to be playing next season. It's kind of... I'm excited about it, but excited in a nervous way, if that makes sense. Like, I think the future could be really bright under Xabi Alonso if and hopefully when he becomes the new Liverpool manager. But until then, I think we're kind of just treading water. I'm wondering when we're going to start hearing some real announcements on these things. I have my own thoughts on it. I think it's done, and it's just thoughts. Don't have any information, but I think it's done. I do. I think it's done. Kieran, thank you, mate, for your super sticker. Appreciate you. 3 points tomorrow, please, said Canters. Absolutely, mate. Now, look, shall we have a go at doing a team? Shall we have a go together at doing a team for tomorrow and see what we're thinking? Now, remember, Ibrahima Kanade is suspended for the game tomorrow because of the 2 yellows, which translated to a red. That's a 1-game suspension for Ibu. So, we'll all assume Alisson Becker's going to be in goal, right? Do we think Trent comes in at right back? I think he does. I think Trent comes in at right back. And then the question is, does Robbo come in at left back, or does Joe Gomez stay at left back? I think it'll be Robbo. I think he'll have had enough time, and he did an interview this week where he said that he's feeling back to fitness now. So I think we go with Andy Robertson at left back tomorrow against Burnley, and Trent at right back. There'll be no Conor Bradley in the squad yet. Jurgen rightfully said that he's spending more time, of course, with his family, which is absolutely the right place for him right now. Pedro Neto and Ansu Fati, we'll get to that in a while, Brett. Robbo and Trent in, said Revanite. Gomez right back, Trent central midfield, I'd like to see, but Trent will start at right back, said Harris. So, again, if we're looking at Trent in midfield, I still don't know what that midfield looks like. It's weird. I know we all assume and want Trent to move into midfield, but I still don't know what that midfield looks like with Trent in it. Because he's not a number 6, so I don't see him being the combative, high-pressing, winning the ball high up the pitch number 6 that you'd see with Alexis or you'd see with Toro. So, yeah, I'm still unsure. Is he a right side of midfielder? I don't know. I really don't know what to expect of Trent in midfield. So, yeah, it's a tough one. I think we're probably going to see... Let's go with this. I think hopefully we'll agree on this for the back line. It'll be probably Trent at right back in the hybrid role. Then it'll be Kwanzaa, I'm sure. But there's a good shout for Gomez to come in alongside Verge as well. I think Joe does deserve to be rewarded for the consistency that he showed since the boys have been out. So I'd have no issues if it was Joe that went in alongside Virgil van Dijk. But if I was a betting man, and I am, I would think it'll probably be Kwanzaa that will come in alongside Verge. Trent in midfield would work better with Alonso. Is Trent at right wing stupid or can it work out? Well, the whole point of bringing Trent into midfield is that he's central and that he can impact the game from a central position. So could he do a job on the right side? Of course. I think that's a fair shout. But he wouldn't be able to impact the game as much as he would if he was central in midfield, which was the reasoning behind Jurgen giving him this hybrid role between right back and dropping in as a second midfielder. Alisson, Trent, Gomez, VVD, Robbo, Endo, Maka, Jones, Diaz, Jota, Nunez is Cantor's guess at an 11. Who will start as our CDM? Well, I think we have a good opportunity here because no Szoboszlai in the team gives us a bit of space in midfield. So I think there's an opportunity to put Watoro back in the number 6 position, move Alexis McAllister up alongside Curtis Jones in midfield. That's what I would like to see from my own point of view. Watoro in the 6, and then, as I said, Curtis Jones and Alexis McAllister in the 2 advanced midfield positions. That's my preference for tomorrow's game. Also, Harvey Elliott could be in with a show. I'm going to say this, and I don't mean it in a spiteful way. I don't want Gravenberch starting the game tomorrow. I don't. He needs to pull his socks up a little bit. And I don't want Gakpo starting the game tomorrow either. Again, just trying to be honest. I think the front 3, in whichever way Klopp wants to line them up, has to be Jota, Diaz and Darwin. It has to be. Do we know who's not going to be in the squad due to the flu? No, unfortunately, mate, not yet. No. That's what makes this conversation quite difficult tonight, yeah, because we really don't know who's going to be in that role. I think the FA Cup tie is the perfect game to experiment him in midfield. Good shout, yeah. We do know that Liverpool will be taking on Southampton in the FA Cup, so yeah, I think that's a very good shout. Could put Trent in midfield in there with even one of the younger players. So yeah, not a bad shout that at all. By Cecic update or any news, Callum, mate, honestly, I wish I had something for you, bro, but it's quiet, all quiet on the Western Front. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with by Cecic. It's I won't say it's sad because that's not the right fit, but we were all so excited to see how this season was going to go for Stefan because, you know, he played a big part in our slight resurgence at the end of last season, and we were all excited to see how he kicks on this year. So whatever it has been, and I think it's been a few different bits and pieces, I hope we see him back playing football soon because he's an exciting talent. Craig, the colour blue suits you. Thank you, but I get in trouble. Every time I wear this colour blue, I get in trouble because of, it looks a bit, I don't even want to say the name, it makes me feel grubby, but yeah, thank you. I love this colour blue. Just not on a particular football team. Right, Slugger said 3-4-3, Gomez, Kwanzaa, Verge, central midfield, Endo, Maka, right wing Trent, left midfield Robbo, front 3 Gakpo, Diaz, Nunez, Diogo off. Maybe, but there's no way we're suddenly going to start playing with a back 3 now. I can't see that happening. Klopp has never played with a back 3 for us. Well, never consistently, or never started it with a back 3 of 3 centre backs. So I can't see it changing now. Next season under Alonso, absolutely. 10 minutes in being that hoodie. Yeah, that's fair. But I can come back then, because if I come back after the 10 minutes, I might pull a muscle. Like, just say somebody asks me to show them my socks, and I've been in the sin bin for 10 minutes. We all know when I'm fully match fit here, and I try to show you my socks, what happens. So imagine if I had a 10-minute sin bin. That's not going to work out well. Glenn, how are you, bro? Said, hey, Craig, missed you the last while. Can you please give a shout out? I need to know, are you getting my comments? There you go. Just answered it for you. So, done and dusted, sir. Will double pivot with Toro and McAllister work? It's too defensive. I think. We're playing Burnley tomorrow. We shouldn't be having to have 2 Houlden deep line midfielders, with all due respect to Burnley. So, it would work, but I don't think we need it. Is Zubamendi worth the release clause? Well, let's talk a little bit about Zubamendi. So there has been a report that claims Liverpool would be prepared to fork out the £51 million release clause to sign Real Sociedad midfielder Martin Zubamendi, who's 25 years of age. Liverpool are planning to go all out and challenge Arsenal for his signature. Look, I think Zubamendi's a great footballer. We spoke about this a few times on the channel over the last few weeks. But I don't know if Liverpool's interest is sincerely strong or not. But I like the fact that we're linked with them. I think that's a good fit. Don't forget to drop a like, by the way, my friends, if you're just joining in with us. And also to our American brothers and sisters, don't forget, going to be in Boston, we are, on March 22nd, House of Blues Foundation Room, which is the smaller venue inside the room, or inside the venue. We're going to be there for a live show. Tickets are on sale on Ticketmaster, and Boston are going to be spoiled that week. The night before, you've got the good lads from the Anfield Rap, who are going to be at the OLSC Supporters Club in Boston as well. Probably shouldn't be giving shout-outs to other people, but I always like the Anfield Rap, and I wish them nothing but the best. They're in Boston the night before. They're going to be there on the Thursday, and then our good selves are going to be in the night after. And as I said, we're going to be at the House of Blues. So if you'd like to come and see us, get on to Ticketmaster. You'll find the tickets there, and we really would appreciate your support, and we look forward to catching up with you in a few weeks' time. I'm really excited about it. Can't wait to get to Boston and see everyone. And if I was there earlier, I'd probably go to the Anfield Rap show while I was over there as well, to be fair. I've always enjoyed their content. But we're just getting in that same day the show is on, so we won't have enough time to swing by, unfortunately. But wish the lads nothing but the best for their show. They're a good group. Don't know them personally, but always been a fan of what they do. That shade of blue is the national colour of the Republic of Ireland and Dublin's colours. Any matches shown in Ireland this weekend. It is you are absolutely correct. The royal blue, I believe, was the colour, the traditional colour for us in our first flag. And of course, me being a dub, I know all about the Dublin GAA colours, my friend. Any matches been shown in Ireland? Yes, this match. We're lucky. Premier Sport are showing the Liverpool Burnley game on here in Ireland. So yeah, we're very fortunate. We've lost 2 matches, not 4. I don't know what that's in relation to, Rachel. Who's the only player you would take from Leverkusen? I like Grimaldo. I think Grimaldo would be good. Wirtz, of course, we like as well. Is there anybody else? Frimpong, perhaps, but we've got Conor Bradley, so there's an argument to say, do we even need to bring in Frimpong? What's going to happen in the Boston show? It's going to be like this, it's going to be me chatting to the audience, going back and forth, discussing subjects they want to talk about, having a bit of a sing-song probably, having a bit of fun. Going to give you some background on me, my family, the channel, some insights to the industry that I wouldn't talk about on a live stream because they're getting a lot of trouble, some home truths, and anything else. It's just going to be a fun, interactive chat where we basically treat it like it's a live show. So yeah, gonna be fun. Usually try and do about 2 hours when we're on stage. So yeah, looking forward to it. It doesn't get any less daunting for me to do a live show. Honestly, it is a scary thing, but that's what life's all about, isn't it? Putting yourself out there and taking a chance. Who's your player of the month? Mr. Conor Bradley. Come on now. It's got to be Conor Bradley. And I hope you've all voted, by the way, for Conor Bradley. If you haven't, I'm not sure if it's still open or if the votes have closed. But yeah, do make sure, show some support for Mr. Bradley. Very quiet one this evening. Maybe people are turning away. Maybe people don't like Anfield Agenda anymore. I don't know. But this is the quietest 8:30 stream I can remember in the last 2 years, probably. Am I a fan of Conor McGregor? In what context? I'm a fan of certain things of Conor McGregor. I'm a fan of what he's done for mixed martial arts in Ireland. I'm a fan of what he's done for put Ireland on the map in a sporting sense. I'm a fan of what he achieved. I'm a fan of lots of things. I'm very much not a fan of a lot of other things. I just, want him to concentrate on getting back into the octagon and fighting because that's what he's famous for. So, yeah, from that sense, yes, I am. And look, I'm going to be honest, my favourite thing about McGregor has always been the brashness. Because as a race of people, us Irish are usually very humble. And sometimes it's nice to have somebody like Conor McGregor come along who isn't humble and just said, I'm shit hot, deal with it. And I like that. I like that because, too often us Irish people are just, plodding along and wanting to take part in all this. But no, I like winners. I like people that want to aim for the stars and, change their lives. And whatever we think of him, he's gone from the dole to this. So he's done something right. Rachel, thank you, Rachel, for gifting an Anfield Agenda membership. Thanks very much, Craig. You're my favourite. I'd love to do what you're doing. If you're ever in Dublin, I'll take you and your family out to dinner. Glenn, I'm from Dublin, bro. My wife's family still live up in Loughlinstown. So, well, I think Loughlinstown Ballybrack is probably the correct one. I'm from Shankill originally, so I'm in Dublin, mate, quite a bit. Don't worry about that. And yeah, we're going to try and do a little something in Dublin at some point as well. So absolutely. Watching while at work, that's dedication for you. We love that, Andrew. We love that, sir. Well played. That is dedication. Right, let's talk John Barnes for a little minute. John Barnes has been talking about a player that he'd like to see at Liverpool Football Club, and this is what John had to say. I've always liked Pedro Neto, always liked him. If you're looking for the profile of a winger that would suit Liverpool down to the ground, that winger is Pedro Neto. He'd suit Liverpool more than any other club. He's direct, he's quick, he's a bit like Mo Salah, where he's direct and always plays well. Yeah, and one more thing I'd add to what John Barnes said there is he's got that spark, right? He's got that fire in his belly that I've always liked. He's a fighter. And I think he's somebody that a lot of the Liverpool fan base hold some warmth towards. I know a lot of you guys certainly are admirers of Pedro Neto. It's a shame he's had some injuries, but I do like him. I would not say no if he was at Anfield. How can I get a membership? Click on the join button if you see it, or you might get lucky and somebody might gift you one at one point. But other than that, we've two different types of membership on the channel, by the way. There's Anfield Agenda FC, which is the regular membership, which gets you all the custom emojis, your name in green. It gets you the Anfield Agenda logo beside your name, which will change colour depending on how long you're with us. And then there's Anfield Agenda Ultras, which gets you everything else, and also into the Discord group, which is for Anfield Agenda Ultra only members. Right, what's my favourite movie? I don't think anybody can have a favourite movie. I think you can have a favourite movie from different genres, or a favourite movie from a different time of your life. If you're pushing me for an answer, A Bronx Tale is probably my favourite movie. Right, what else we got? Some Mirror Football, Daily Mirror, have said Liverpool are also making checks on Athletic Club Bilbao forward Nico Williams as well as Arsenal. Now, Nico did sign a new deal that will tie him down to Bilbao for a bit longer, and I think it would be a real struggle to try and get Nico Williams or his brother Iñaki Williams out of Bilbao. The family are very settled there. The club have treated them very well, of course, as well. And I can see them staying there, in all honesty. Jens gifted a membership. Well in, Jens. We like that, mate. Well played. Craig, if Conor Bradley is back in the squad tomorrow, would you start Trent midfield and Conor right back? Well, he isn't back in the squad. 100% confirmed. Jurgen said he's not ready yet. And absolutely the right decision to give the young man as much time as he needs. He's been through a lot, as you know. And I love that side of the club. I love that side of Jurgen, that, player welfare is first, and as it should be. So, but if he was, yes, I'd play him at right back tomorrow. I would. I don't know what that means for Trent or where Trent would go, but yes, I would play him at right back. Don't know why people say that's a City hoodie when we also wore that colour at one point. Yes, Liverpool did have the blue and white colour, Mark. You're right. Absolutely. Ben Doak or Cade Gordon? I think Cade Gordon's fit anyway, to the best of my knowledge. Ben Doak's still injured. Which, is tough. Right, so, again, remember we spoke a while back about that youngster from Leeds, Archie Gray, and we were saying that, he's a huge talent. Well, He's still attracting interest from loads of Premier League clubs, one of them being Liverpool. Also Manchester City and Newcastle haven't given up on signing the 17-year-old who put pen to paper on a new deal with Leeds less than 3 weeks ago that will keep him there till 2028. I had been led to believe that he could be available in the summer for about 40 million quid, but maybe things have changed a little bit there. But he is definitely a player to keep an eye on, Archie Gray's, somebody who's thought to be of a Bellingham type calibre of footballer. We should have bought Van de Ven in the summer. I agree, Adam, mate, I agree. The more I watch him play, the more I could have seen him in this Liverpool team, and the more I feel like we missed the boat there. Because we were strongly linked with him, if you remember. And it does feel like that could be one that got away. I do like Mickey Van de Ven. I think he's a good player. What would happen if a goalkeeper gets a blue card? Don't know the answer to that yet, is the honest answer. I would imagine one or two things can only happen. Either the outfield player has to go in goal for that 10 minutes, or the club or the team who receives the blue card would have to substitute. But if you're substituting, you probably have to substitute another player though, right? Because it's a tough one. But look, in this sense, the only way that would happen is if there's an issue with talking back to the referee, because I can't imagine a goalkeeper getting sent off for a tactical foul, because they'd be too deep on the pitch. They wouldn't be making tactical fouls on the halfway line, and if they did, it would probably be a red card for the keeper. So it would have to be for talking back to the official. So I don't know, is the honest answer. But look, it looks like this whole nonsense of blue cards is going away for a while. Thankfully, because it is a nonsense. I've not seen many body. There we go. It's another one of those stupid words that comes out of my face. I've not seen many people support the idea of it. It's been pretty much roundly run down because it's a stupid idea. Would you agree if Darwin starts, he'll score too? I hope so. I've always said the same thing. I don't care who scores. Because it's a team game. But yeah, I do want people, not Liverpool fans, but others getting off Darwin's back a bit. So yes, maybe if Darwin bagged a couple, perhaps. Sin bins in football, what a stupid idea. I agree. The void, dude. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's just one more way to give referees an ability to unduly influence the outcome of a game of football, a league title race, a cup. Just no thank you. There's no need for it. But be under no illusion, there is a need for respect for referees. There is. I hate referees in the Premier League. I can't lie to you. I think they're inept and not good enough at their job. But I do think that football does have a problem with respect for referees. And I think that needs to happen from youth level right up. Look at rugby. It is the example to look at in this situation where they call the referee sir. The captain's the only one allowed to speak to the referee. And even if they don't agree with the decisions, they don't shout back at the ref. And we need to get that in football. It has to happen. Because seeing players surround a referee, shouting at them, or getting too comfortable getting up on their faces, it's not what anybody needs or wants to see in the sport. Respect is earned, not given. Not necessarily true. Not necessarily true. You have to respect a referee in sport. You have to. The referee doesn't have to earn your respect. He is the voice of the law on the football pitch. Whatever you think about it, he is, or she is. In life, yes, you earn respect. I agree with you. That's a fair point for most of your life, going around doing whatever we're doing. But when you step on a football pitch, the ref's the man in charge, and you got to respect the referee, unfortunately. As much as we don't like a lot of their decisions, you can't have these situations of people shouting in referees' faces and 5 and 6 people surrounding them. It just doesn't look good. And it only emboldens fans then to have some stupid behavioural issues where they think it's okay to attack people or show up at people's homes. It has a knock-on effect. And it needs to be stamped out, but I think it needs to start from obviously youth level up. Opinions on Lewis Koumas. Um, I don't really know much about him, to be fair. So I'm being honest. Even Anthony Taylor. Look, there's a lot of referees I don't like. Don't get me wrong, but I'm somebody who calls things as I see them. And as much as I didn't like Paul Tierney, I have to say he refereed the Chelsea game very well, and I gave him that credit. But yes, Anthony Taylor has had some annoying decisions, and Jurgen Klopp certainly feels like he's made some very questionable decisions against us. But I will juxtapose that with how Anthony Taylor refereed the situation when Christian Eriksen had his heart attack. I thought Anthony Taylor was impeccable in how he handled that at the time, and I can't just ignore that either. He's not just somebody who's always terrible. Craig, if Alonso comes in, I think Gakpo will benefit a lot. He could play in the Wirtz Hoffman role with Dom as the other central midfielder, false nine. Gakpo does need to pull his socks up, definitely. Him and Gravenberch, for me at the minute, would be the two that I would feel are lagging a little bit behind the rest of the squad in their performances. Maybe I'm on my own on that, but I don't see either of them in the strongest starting 11 at the minute, if I'm naming one. Kumas is fast, technically, brilliant player and goal scorer, maybe your best under 18 player. I've always said the same, Torsten. I'm not the guy for the Liverpool youth players. I don't have the time to keep up with it as much as I should. It takes a lot to run a YouTube channel so single-handedly, and by that I mean just being in front of camera, a lot of research, a lot of stuff for the shows. I don't have time to watch the youth as much as I would like to, of course, but I will certainly try to learn a little bit more about young Kumas and see if I can be of better help in any future conversations. Irfan, lovely to see you as always, my friend. He said, good day, Craig and chat. Hope all is well. It is. It's good, thank you, mate. Hope life's good with you. Right, some more stuff from earlier on around Jurgen Klopp, and this one made me laugh, I have to say. Jurgen Klopp speaking about the IFAB, the football lawmakers, and saying the blue cards. He said he'll rather keep things as simple as possible. It doesn't sound like a fantastic idea at the moment, but I can't remember the last fantastic idea the guys at IFAB came up with, and I'm 56. As I said earlier on today, that got me thinking a little bit about what IFAB have brought in that has actually done well in the game. So obviously, goal line technology would be one of the things that stands out. Somebody mentioned the back pass rule earlier on, which, thanks to your quick research, we found out came in 1992. That's definitely impacted football in a positive way. The spray foam is a great addition. One of those things I'll regret not thinking of for the rest of my life. How did we not see that, lads? So now it's one of those things when you're like, oh my God, of course, foam. Of course that will keep the wall in its place. We shouldn't be too critical of our players. It's a long season. Nobody's being critical. See, I think sometimes people need to just stop treating these players like the sun shines out all their asses. They're a human being like the rest of us, and they're there to be critiqued and praised like everybody else. But it is fair to say that Gravenberch and Gakpo aren't doing it. Just because we like them doesn't mean we're not going to be honest about what we're seeing. They're not good enough at the minute. It is what it is. And it's up to them to fight for the jersey. Same way, look, Joe Gomez is a great example here. He doesn't have a normal nail-down starting place, but he comes in and performs and tries to take his chance every time he gets an opportunity. And I'm not seeing that with Gravenberch, and I'm not seeing that with Gakpo at the minute. They're just passengers in the games. Which centre-back would you want us to buy in the summer for the Alonso system? Inacio. I know you're probably expecting me to say Hincapia because he's played with Alonso, but I think Inacio is a better footballer, and I think he will have a higher ceiling, so I would say Inacio. What's the name of the reality show who are going around Anfield. Um, I think I remember hearing something that it's a Disney Plus show. I think the last I read about the documentary that's been filmed for Jurgen Klopp's last time at the club and a little bit of a look at the players' home lives and stuff. I think it's been sold to Disney for 10 million. That's the last I remember seeing on it anyway. Oh, it is Jason Kumas' son. I was wondering with the name Kumas if he was related to Jason Kumas. Thoughts on Arteta's celebration? The fist pumping to the crowd, that's just pathetic. Sorry. Like, I've no issues with Arsenal celebrating the win. I've no issues with the Odegaard stuff. Absolutely. But Arteta, I don't like him. I'm just gonna say he's a gimp. I don't like Arteta. He's he's a Lego-headed sociopath. That's what he reminds me of. I don't like him. I just can't take to him. I'm sure maybe if he was your club's manager, he's one of those type characters, but I just think he's a little gimp. As I said, I don't like him jumping out of his technical area, standing in the way of players when we're trying to take a throw in. I don't like this carte blanche that he seems to be given to be out of his technical area where, I mean, the rules were supposed to be bookings if you're out of your technical area, and apparently Mikel Arteta is allowed to run up and down the sideline doing whatever he wants without any consequences. So yeah, that's what I think of a celebration. I thought it was a bit try-hard, in all honesty. Best game of the season so far? Probably the Chelsea game. I think we played very well that day. Looked full of confidence. And look, I know Chelsea aren't all that. They're up and down, but I thought we played very well that day. Certainly felt like there were some good performances from our side. But it's okay for Klopp to run on the pitch and celebrate. Did I say that? Ian? Stop putting words in my mouth. We've been through this shit already. I never said that was okay for Klopp to do it. I said Arteta was out of his technical area for about 70% of the game against us. It's not okay for Klopp to run on the pitch. Absolutely, it's not okay. It's not okay for anybody to run onto the pitch. But anybody who resorts to whataboutery for an argument has lost the argument. Because you can't acknowledge that somebody's done something wrong. You have to try and scapegoat by saying, what about this? Well, that's the Man City defence, mate. That's all their fans have. So I didn't say Klopp didn't do anything wrong. I've pulled up Klopp on loads of stuff. I've pulled up Klopp many times on this channel. Racism needs to get sorted. What's your views? I couldn't agree more. I find it soul destroying that in 2024 there are still some people in this world that feel like they have the ability or right to judge somebody else based on the colour of their skin, their sexual orientation, their religion. It's pathetic. Judge people on how they play football, because that's what you're there to watch. And if you don't like watching black people, then fuck off somewhere else. That's my take on it. Everybody are human beings. I want everyone to be respected and loved the same as I want myself to be. I want for you guys. And racism is a stain on society. It's disgusting. I can't believe it still happens. I'm genuinely sad as a human being that people have to go through that over what they look like. It's pathetic. And I think we need to crack down very strongly. And I think teams need to start taking some responsibility, and clubs need to keep working with fans and remove these idiots, and people need to be empowered to speak up in stadiums and be supported by stewards and be supported by those around them. And we need these idiots removed from the game, because they shouldn't have any place in football, sport, or in society with those views. That's my take on it. I'm a people person. I love everybody. Doesn't matter where you're from. If you show people respect, if you're kind to me and people I'm with, you'll get love from me back. And I think that's the way we should be as people. You know, it's pathetic. There's nothing else to say on it. Anyone who... Look, there's a difference between somebody who says something once, makes a mistake and puts their hands up, and somebody who's indoctrinated. But what we need to know is no one's born racist. Nobody's born racist. People are indoctrinated to be racist. People are surrounded by people with belief systems that aren't acceptable. And we need to educate. I'm not the guy to do it because I'm not clever enough. But yeah, it's certainly one of the things I wish we could remove from sport. But FIFA, UEFA and everyone needs to play a part and put down real sanctions. Did you ever go to that Liverpool friendly against Napoli in the Aviva? Oh yeah. Yeah, we were at that one. We had media passes for it. If I remember correctly, there was 2 years in a row Liverpool came. Was that the one? Because we played Bilbao, I think, another year. But do you know what I remember about that friendly in the Aviva against Napoli? I think we won it 3-0, if my memory's right. And the referee gave us every single decision in that game. Napoli got nothing. It was the most hometown refereeing decision I can remember. Yeah, it was great. But I was sick of the sight of Napoli at that point. You know, we played them too often. Craig, mate, every football player you talk about coming to Liverpool, according to reports, it never happens. And? The fuck do you want from me? I don't talk about it. John Barnes spoke about Pedro Neto. You do realise how this works, yeah? We find stories, we discuss them. I have never said anybody is coming outside of Bellingham. That's the one I got wrong, and that's the only one I'm ever put my hands up for. But I talk about the news. I talk about the links. I talk about who we've been linked to in the media. If you don't like it, go fuck yourself. And that's from the bottom of my heart. If you don't understand what this show is about after all this time, I'm not here to help you. Go watch Redmen TV or Copish or any of the other great Liverpool channels out there and leave me to this. Because I never once say, Craig says this is happening. I back up every single thing that I say with exactly where it comes from, exactly who reported it, and then we have a conversation. If you can't figure that out, that's your problem, dude, not mine. Imagine being in top of the league, 9 points clear in the final month of the season and bottling it. Arsenal fans don't give it the big one. It's they're a strange bunch sometimes. I love Arsenal fans most of the time, but they're a strange bunch sometimes. They do get very quickly grow a parabolics very quickly when things are going well. And but look, I don't want to hate them for it because that's what you're supposed to do in football. You're supposed to be a dreamer. You're supposed to want the biggest and best of everything for your football club. You're supposed to assume the best about them. You're supposed to... You can't do that. Then what's the point? So I kind of get it to some extent, but when it starts to get to me, actually, if I'm being honest, is when they try to say that they're a club as big as Liverpool. That's when I go, no, sorry, let's just rewind back here. Put your European Cups on the table. Oh, you've got none. So then stop this conversation. Stop the silliness. Craig, look into the Savio deal to City. Savio joined Troyes, which is another Manchester City club, if I'm not mistaken, for a club record fee. Immediately loaned to Girona and is now set to join all three clubs owned by the City Group. That deal is going to be looked into. Now, I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with it. I don't know, haven't got a clue. But it is going to have to be rubber stamped by the Premier League. They're going to look for fair market value. That's what they're going to assess the deal for. To see if Manchester City have paid what people or the Premier League or whomever deem is fair market value for the player. That's all I can tell you about it. I don't know too much about it after that. What's happened with Fabio Carvalho? He's on loan at Hull. And you know what? I wouldn't mind using Fabio as bait to try and lure somebody from Leverkusen if needs be. I'm just thinking back, Rachel, to what Fabrizio Romano said a while back when Fabio came back from RB Leipzig. I think he said something along the lines of he's still in Liverpool's plans, maybe as soon as next season. I think I'm paraphrasing a bit there, but I think I'm pretty much close to what he said. How long is Thiago out for? Don't know. Klopp thinks he'll play again this season. That's the only thing I can say. Craig, when is Mbappe signing? Never said Mbappe was signing. Again, go listen to what I said. I can tell you without skipping a beat. I said the likelihood is Mbappe's going to go to Real Madrid. But if he doesn't go to Real Madrid, then we should be in that conversation. And we were. Us and Arsenal looked into the deal. Neither of us were apparently willing to try and break our club's payment structures. So he's probably going to end up at Real Madrid. That's what we all believed all along. Again, doesn't mean we can't dream. Doesn't mean we can't have these conversations about possibilities. What's your thoughts on the criticism around Gravenberch? I think it's over the top. Now, I've said I don't think he should be in the team, but I'm not writing Ryan Gravenberch off by a long way. He's still 21 years of age and didn't have a good pre-season, didn't have a pre-season with us, hasn't played much football over the last 18 months, and I think it's too early to be talking about getting rid or saying he's not good enough. What I'm saying is right now he's not good enough and he needs to pull his socks up. But he has all the tools. Like, you can look at him and see there's a class act there. He just needs to get into a rhythm and get more confidence. And I think by the time he's 23, 24, you're going to see a different player. I swear I heard Craig cover Gakpo, Gravenberch, Szoboszlai, McAllister and all those other players. Yeah, I know, Rocco, but people never get a role, people never give me that credit. They just give me the abuse. You'll also forget to add Fabio Carvalho to that list, by the way. I was the first person to tell anybody about Fabio Carvalho coming to Liverpool Football Club, but haters don't talk about that, dude. They only talk about the couple of bits and pieces they want to take cheap shots at because they're miserable fuckers who just want to make themselves feel superior to others. And rather than doing something positive to make themselves feel superior, they just try to take other people down. I'm used to it at this point. I know where my bread's buttered. I know I'm lucky to be on here talking to wonderful people every night. But unfortunately, there's also going to be a couple of specimens that we have to put up with for a few minutes till we boot them out. Blighty, thank you for gifting a membership, dude. You're very kind. And that has gone to Calm Vibes Namaste. Now, dude, if ever there was something I should take on as a motto, it's Calm Vibes Namaste, because I definitely don't have calm vibes. But yeah, welcome in. Craig, today I've had a boring Saturday. Troy, Saturday? Are you in Australia or something, Trey? Or Troy, sorry. I hate when Liverpool don't play. I met Cody Gakpo last year. He's a really humble and nice guy. Oh, he is. 100%. Very deeply religious man as well. And with really good roots back to Africa and stuff as well, where I think he's done lots of charity work, if my memory's right. I think they took a trip, him and his family. Craig, after the Boston show, can me and my wife plus you and yours go out for some good old Jamaican food? I mean, I'm just trying to think what time that'll finish at. I'll tell you what we're trying to do, LFC Pundit. So the show's on a Friday night. We're trying to do a Saturday night dinner where like JC, myself, LFC USA and his wife, Conor and his partner Katie, myself and my wife, LFC USA's brother Vern and his wife I think are going to be there. So yeah, we're trying to get a group dinner for the Saturday night. So please feel free to come join us for that, mate, if you want. We'll give you more details closer to the time. But yeah, look, when I'm in Boston, my whole aim being there is to meet people and talk about Liverpool. So it would be a pleasure, mate. You're right, it's 2024. Leave people alone. If you ask me, slagging black footballers that are putting a show on is for you. It's ridiculous. Like, by all means, tell somebody they're crap, or make up a funny song about them missing a shot or something. Anything that's related to football and their performance, that's fair game. That's what football fans are for. But yeah, the judging people for other stuff is just weird. I've been looking at flights to Boston, said David Sharples. David, my man, if you book flights and I don't know where you're flying from, your tickets are on me. That's a deal. If you're flying in, mate, and you go, let me know and I'll sort out the tickets for you as a thank you. Because I've always said this, we don't give a shit about money for our live shows. It's not about any money. I don't care if I lose a fortune on it. It's about chatting with you guys and having fun. And if you're making a sacrifice to get on a plane to come and say hello to us, the least I can do is give you some tickets. What do you want to win on Sunday night, or who do you want to win? Do you know what? I'm torn. I'm really torn, because in one sense, I'd love Mahomes and Kelsey to get that third Super Bowl and the dynasty status. But on the other hand, like Brock Purdy, last in the draft, really young. I think whoever wins, it's going to be a good story. And I can't wait. I'm totally pumped for Sunday night. Craig, say we bring in some good players in the summer. If you had to guess, where do we finish next season? First. Call me an optimist. I hope we're going into next season as defending champions. But again, a lot of football still to be played. Klopp speaking about Mohamed Salah, by the way, earlier on. This is what he said. It's going in the right direction. We hope, but we don't know, that he can be part of training next week. We have to see. He's gone through all the paces now. It's positive, either next week or the week after. If you ask him, it's next week. So hopefully we do have Mo back. It would be ideal if we could have him for that trip to Brentford, because we could do with him. So yeah, that's where we're at with the latest with Mr. Mohamed Salah. You should do a Super Bowl stream. Oh God, no. No. I'm being selfish, mate. I'm watching at home. I'm sitting my lazy fat arse on the sofa, getting a pizza, and I'm going to sit there, feet up, and watch the Super Bowl and enjoy every minute of it. Salah doesn't get injured for long. God, I love it. Oh, he's a machine, Migs. An absolute machine. He is. He does not get injured very often or for very long, as you've said. Right, what's this? Right, so this is coming from TNT Sport. It's since joining in 2020, Thiago has missed more games through injury, 102, than he's made appearances, 98, for Liverpool. The Spanish international is set to be sidelined after picking up an injury against Arsenal. Huh. I didn't know that. So he's missed 102 and played 98. That's not great reading, is it? Wow. Fucking hell. That's not great, lads. Now look, again, nobody wants to be injured, but fucking hell. It doesn't make for great reading, does it? Thank you, Mark, for that as well, by the way. Mate, you don't know how much your streams have helped me over the last month with personal problems. Oh, David, it's a two-way street. I say this all the time. You guys don't know how much you help me a lot of the time, where, everyone has their private life, everyone has stuff going on behind the scenes. And there've been days I didn't want to get out of bed and come on and do a stream. I come on and within 5 minutes I'm smiling, I'm having a laugh with people that it's a pleasure to be around. So if we've helped, the chat has helped in any small way, is what you deserve. So thank you. See, this is the side to me that people need to see a bit more of, and I'm aware of that. But I can't help but be cranky. I can't. I'm a cranky son of a bitch. I just am. And I wish I didn't bite on stuff. I try so hard not to, but I'm just wired that way, unfortunately. And I can't bite my tongue. I told you a lot. My mum always told me my mouth was going to get me in trouble. But this, I'll never, ever, ever stop being thankful for what I have for you guys and for the support you've given our channel. And look, nearly 250,000 people strong at this point. That is absolutely incredible. And more than I ever dreamed of when we started Anfield Agenda. So whatever happens now, I'm playing with house money. So it's all good. Oliver Hunt, thank you for your really kind super chat, Oliver. That's amazing. Said, what the WTF? Blue cards? I feel already with VAR we're ruining the beautiful game. I get anxiety over a tackle that happens 10 passes before the goal, or a toenail is offside, giving the officials more control over the game. Not good. Are you in my head, Oliver? Because honestly, I agree with every word, every single syllable, every word. You're right. And we shouldn't give them any more influence. And I'm like you. When we score a goal now, you have the initial, is this offside moment? But then, like you've said, you're going back through every phase of play and thinking, how long do I have to go back in my mind here, checking over this before we know if we're actually going to get a goal or not? The one that's annoyed me the most, if I'm being really honest, was Conor Bradley's goal. Because that was his first, and he wanted to celebrate, and he did, but we all had to wait then. We had to wait to see if VAR was going to find a way to ruin another moment. And that's been the worst part of it, is not being able to have that full release when your team scores, because the old days we just had to have a look at the line out. If the linesman didn't put a flag up, you knew you were golden and we could all celebrate. Nowadays, their football feels more sanitised, and I don't think with VAR they're ever going to be able to get away from that. And IFAB, the football lawmakers, seem to want to destroy the sport and make a two-stop start and lose the free flow nature of it. Why do they want to keep bringing in things to rule out fucking goals? I don't get it. Like, if you ask some people who don't watch football why they don't watch football, some of the time it's a low-scoring game, there's not enough action. So what the geniuses at IFAB and all try to do? Find ways to rule out more goals, to slow the game down even more. That's going to do it, lads. That's going to get people involved. Rachel Todd. Thank you for gifting a membership, Rachel. You're very kind. Your honesty is inspiring. No, I'm a liar. Remember, David, I'm a liar. But you know what, though? I thought about this. I am a liar. I am. We all are. Let's be honest. There's every single one of us tells lies every day. So I guess when the person called me a liar the other day, I probably should have just accepted it and moved on. Craig, do you really think City will have the winning run? Because I don't. I feel like in previous years it wasn't as expected from them as it is this time, so I think it'll be the opposite. So let me just address you correctly. Sorry, news. Look, they're capable of it. I have to acknowledge that because they've done it before, so we know they're capable of it. But do you know what gets to me? It's how quickly everybody's just willing to presume it's a foregone conclusion that City are going to get better in the second half of the league. You know who else gets better in the second half of the league? Us. Every year. We finish strongly. And we're also able to go on runs. So, for me, I can understand people feeling City might be the favourites for the league title. I think that's fair enough, but I don't like this coronation that the media are almost giving them already. Liverpool, Arsenal and Manchester City all have every right to believe they have a chance to win the league. After that, I feel it's a bit fanciful and a bit far-fetched. But those three teams certainly deserve the right to believe they have a chance to win the league. So I'm just glad that some of the attitudes of some sections of our fan base aren't matched by those in the dressing room, because you got to keep fighting. It's not an easy league to win, and nobody's won the league 4 times in a row, and I'm damned if I want City to be the first team to do that. So let's us and Arsenal do everything we can to make sure it doesn't happen. Your black card is a better idea. Yeah, I think, look, I don't want sin bins or anything in, but at least as we were talking about with GAA the other day, it just forces the manager into a substitution, so you have to take the player off. But ultimately, I'd like them to just leave football cards and situation as it is. It feels like after last year, everyone has forgotten about our ability in title races. Absolutely. Like, we finish season strong every year with Jurgen. Every single season, Liverpool are better in the second half. And we're there or thereabouts. We've got to play them as well, which is going to be interesting at Anfield, 3:45, March 10th, if my memory's right. What are my thoughts on Xabi? I'd love him to come. I think he's generational. I think he would be a perfect bridge after Jurgen. I think, like you said, he is... Well, I think you've intimated that he's a very clever football person. He understands the game. He has the respect of everybody in world football. He has won literally everything he could win at club level, at international level. He is articulate. He is charismatic, and I think he'd be a great Liverpool manager. So yeah, I'm fully on board. I mean, I'll be disappointed if it isn't Alonso, but I think it's done. That's my gut feeling. Not that I know anything, because I don't know anything. But yeah, for me, if it's not Alonso, it'll feel a bit of an anticlimax at this point. Why aren't they adding circular cards too? So in the span of less than a year, we really had 3 cards to 6. I don't know, mate. They should concentrate on getting stuff right. Like I keep saying, handball. Sort out the handball rule, so we actually understand what a handball is, because a lot of us have no idea anymore what a handball is, which should be a pretty simple thing to figure out. Sorry, I'm just checking back through my notes. James Pearce said earlier on as well that Xabi Alonso is the clear front runner for the Liverpool job currently, which I like as well. I know some people call him bad news Pearce, but that's good news in my book. And as I said earlier on, I'm a big fan of James Pearce. I think he's a wonderful fella, and he's always been a great friend of fan content and podcasts and stuff. So yeah, when Jimmy Pearce says something like that, I'm going to be all over it. So I hope he is the next Liverpool manager. Not James Pearce, that would be a bit weird. Here's one that'll make you laugh. Xabi Alonso is an option to replace Xavi at Barcelona. Yeah, he's going to work alongside Jurgen Klopp as well, because apparently, remember last week, Jurgen Klopp was going to be the new Barcelona manager. So why would they even need to be thinking about the likes of Xabi Alonso if they've already got a deal? Oh, that's right, because Gerard Romero's full of shit. That's right, now I remember. And Sport, they're also full of it. But makes headlines. I really have a gripe with a lot of the Spanish journalists, because they are so manipulative of other football clubs, and they're so underhanded at trying to destabilise teams. When you play a Spanish team in Europe the week before, you know damn well you're going to have stories linking them with your players. You're going to have loads of stuff in the media trying to undermine you ahead of the game. And this is another one. There's no way Jurgen Klopp is leaving Liverpool Football Club this summer to go manage Barcelona. It's just not happening. It would be contractually illegal or against his contract, because he's contracted to Liverpool. If Barca want them, pony up the dough. You have to come to FSG and agree a compensation package, because the man's under contract. So you wouldn't let Mohamed Salah or Trent Alexander-Arnold or Alisson just say I'm leaving and walk out of their contract. So they wouldn't let Jurgen Klopp do it. The whole agreement with FSG and Jurgen is that the man wants to take a break, and we can all understand that. And he needs time to recharge his batteries, spend some time with his lovely family. Nobody has an issue with that. But if it was to walk straight into another job, are you mad? There's no way FSG are going to just go, oh, okay then. Handball used to be one of the easiest calls, now anyone's guess. Exactly, Chris. And it varies from league to league. So I see stuff all the time in Serie A where there's handballs that never going to be given in the Premier League but are given in Serie A. And that can't happen, because what happens then when you go into playing European competitions? You don't know what the standard is. You don't know what the referee's tolerance level is. It's weird. And as you rightly said, Chris, it's one of the most straightforward things in football. A handball should be a handball, but they have this convoluted sense now where the handball is different if you're a defender than it is for an attacker. Because remember, if an attacker accidentally handles the ball in the process of scoring, it doesn't matter how accidental it was, it's ruled out. But if a defender accidentally handles the ball while trying to make a challenge or a clearance, that's okay. How? The law isn't written that way. A handball is a handball is a handball, whether it's at the corner flag, the halfway line, or 1 yard out from the goal. It's a handball. And they've just overthought it. by bringing in this stupidity where it's different for an attacker and a defender. Craig, have you watched James Alcott's video on Jabilon's formation? I haven't watched that one, but I have watched another video on his formation. Not from James Alcott, I can't remember. AJ, I think the guy's name was, if my memory's correct. They haven't won it yet by any means, Craig. Love Wales, Nick. Thank you. Offside should be based on feet, not hands or shoulders. So with offside, right, it is one of those annoying things that is, it's factual. You know, you're offside or you're not, whether it's a millimeter or a meter. It's one of those annoying things. What I wish we seen more of is the benefit of the doubt going to the attacker. If it's so close that they're really having to zoom all the way in to try and find an extended toenail, you're looking too hard and you're just taking the spirit out of the game. So I think if we could get back to the benefit of the doubt going with the attacker, that would make it a little bit easier. Isn't there, I don't watch baseball, but isn't there a rule in baseball if a runner's tied, the runner gets the advantage on a home run? Am I right with that? So if you're sliding for home base and you get tagged just as your foot touches it, if it's that close, then the advantage goes to the scoring team. I think I'm right in saying that. That's the type of stuff we need to be looking at here. Or get into a situation where there has to be daylight between them. But then again, you're still looking for, well, how much daylight? You know, it's got to be one of those things that it's just factual, unfortunately. Now, I do have some beef when it's that close. Because sometimes I feel like one frame of a picture of when the ball leaves the forward pass can be a difference maker. And if it's one frame of a camera angle, you're looking too hard. Do you know what I mean? It should be obvious that you're offside, or like you should have to gain a proper advantage. And like this much, are you gaining an advantage? Not really. Do I like James Alcott? I don't know much about James Alcott, to be fair. I've never had any dealings with him. I've never really watched much of his content, so I don't really feel it's fair for me to give an opinion on the gentleman when I don't know him. Craig, I know we want to back our players, but I'm struggling to see a future with Cody Gakpo at the club. Look, to be fair, some people will say that he hasn't been given enough of an opportunity in his best position, which is a left-sided attacking role. I just don't think he's one of the best three strikers or attackers we have at the club, regardless of where he plays. But I do think he's a decent person to have around as a rotational, or like, he's versatile. You can play him in a few positions, which is a good thing. But he does need to keep progressing in the right direction and keep working hard. But again, he's still young, so he's got time on his side. Did you see Matip's back doing gym work? No, I hadn't, but that's great. Excuse me. But for me still, Joe Matip's contract's up in the summer. I think it's the right time to say goodbye to him, to Thiago, and to look to the future. It should be mandatory to have replays for matches that have had a referee and VAR blunders. I agree, Bill, but we get laughed at when we say that. It was done in another league though, right? Was it Belgium, where a match was replayed because of an incorrect penalty VAR decision or something? So apparently other leagues are fine to use common sense, but when it comes to the Premier League, Gary Neville said we're not allowed to give out, because Gary Neville just wants whatever the refs want to do to let the refs do it. Doesn't matter if you get shafted or if we lose the league by a point. Doesn't matter, because Gary Neville said we're not allowed to be angry. So, When Jurgen said the common sense thing to do would be to have a replay or something along those lines, he was right. Why should we be fucked over because of somebody else's mistake? It should have been replayed. But people don't want to hear that because they hate us. They hate Liverpool. They don't like Jurgen Klopp. They want to undermine us at every opportunity. But I don't give a damn about other people. I care about our football club. And the right thing to do would have been to replay that game. And because it would have restored the credibility of football. But no, it doesn't matter because it's only Liverpool, so nothing to see here, move on. Definitely not Neto. Salah to Neto would be a crazy downgrade. Stop thinking about the next person that comes in being Salah's replacement. You need to drop that thought process because there isn't somebody who's going to do what Salah does. So you can't compare whoever we bring in to Salah. It's unfair to them. You know, Mohamed Salah is a once in a generation for us. And whoever comes in next will just have to be part of an attacking unit. And Pedro Neto certainly could be part of that unit. So could Jared Bowen, so could many other players. But we need to drop this idea that whoever comes in has to do everything Mo does or puts up the numbers Mo does. They don't. They just need to help Liverpool win games of football. That's what it's all about. Will Salah be available for tomorrow? No. I'll read you what Jurgen Klopp said, mate. Just bear with me. This was Klopp speaking about Salah. He said, it's going in the right direction. We hope, but we don't know, that he can be part of training next week. But we have to see. He's gone through all the paces now, and it's positive. Either next week or the week after. If you ask him, it's next week. So that's where we're at with Mo at the minute. My main issue with Neto is he's always injured. I get that, absolutely. Elise is another concern in that department. And I'm sure the club will look into that. Like, they're not going to sign somebody if they think that these injuries are going to be repetitive throughout his time at the club. So, yeah, I get where you're coming from. But I think if it gets to the point where we're signing Neto, the club will have taken account of that. But it's a fair concern for you to have, absolutely. Harry said, Craig, I think the only forward we should question their future is Lucho, not because of performances, but because of how he's flirted with both Barcelona and Milan, and what his own dad said about Barca. Look, I think sometimes we have to acknowledge that people from certain parts of the world have dreams of playing in certain leagues, and a lot of the time the players that come from South America will have dreams of going and playing in La Liga. A lot of the time, the players that come from Africa have dreams of coming to play in the Premier League. It's just one of those things. And I don't want to hate on somebody for having a dream, but I also don't like anyone to think of Liverpool Football Club as a stepping stone club because, you know, we all believe we should be a destination club. Do you have an easy PIN code in your bank? Mine's very easy, said Jens. Is it easy? No, it's not easy. No. So there you go. I don't have an easy PIN code. So not easy, in fact, that I often don't remember. Would Gary Neville have backed the ref's blunders if it happened against United? Of course not. Because Gary Neville, much like most of us, is a hypocrite. And that's okay. We're supposed to be hypocrites. But why should we have to accept mistakes all the time and just say nothing about it? That's the part that I don't understand. Like, why can't there have been a replay, you know? Think we should sign Moenka from South Africa. Will you stop with the match of the day syndrome? Whoever he is for South Africa, he's not good enough to play for Liverpool. I can tell you that. The AFCON was an enjoyable watch, but the standard of football at times was atrocious. I'm sorry, it just was. It's yeah, it did. Like, it was an enjoyable tournament. It had lots of twists and turns, but if you look at it from a technical perspective, I think there was a lot left to be desired from that perspective. The passion, the emotion, the fans were amazing, but I think from the standard of football, a lot of it was crap. That's just my opinion. Do you think Liverpool will drop points before they play in 4 or 5 games? No, I think we go unbeaten up till we play City. And then I don't know what happens because it's too close to call. But yeah, I think we keep winning until we play City. Because they know now they've had their wobble. They don't have much more breathing room. The Arsenal game set us back a bit, and now we've got to just get back going in the right direction. I missed the super chat, did I, Mark? Sorry. Zach, let me scroll back, see if I can... Oh, there it is. Thank you. Sorry, Zach. We all love Klopp, but he can polarising for non-Liverpool fans. I mean, no disrespect. Do you feel like Alonso's less controversial? Oh, look. There's no disrespect, mate. I totally understand how other people can look at Jurgen Klopp and not like him. I get it. Like Arteta, Arsenal fans would love him. I can't stand him. No, I get you. No problem with that. Do I feel Alonso will be less controversial? 100%. Yes, he'll be more measured, I believe, than Jurgen is. But as somebody who's an emotional person myself and, you know, bounces up and down and shouts and screams, and that's why I love Jurgen. But yeah, I do totally get, Zach, why others would think that he's less desirable at times, 100%. But he's our manager and we love him. Can't understand why our own fans have a go at Darwin Núñez when he sets up most of our goals. Yeah, Darwin Núñez has had some fantastic contributions this season with 72 shots as well. I said the most shots, or the last stat I seen, the most shots in the Premier League. He'll come good. We win or do well when he's on the pitch, so let's keep playing him. Would you let Salah go for less than 100 million in the summer? No. Not for less than that, no. We did a poll earlier on where we said the 120 million euro that was being mentioned as being an offer that's going to come in the summer from Al Ittihad, would you accept it? And then I think when we finished, about 74% of people said they'd take the 120 million and the other 26% said they wouldn't. Craig, what's your honest opinion about AFTV? I think that they're an embarrassment. I think that they set football fan content back quite a while. I think they've got away with a lot more than almost any other fan channel I can think of with regards to throwing people under the bus, with regards to mistakes. I don't know anybody involved in it on a personal level, so I'm not going to start singling out people or saying they're bad people. I don't know any of them, so it's not right for me to say that. But I was asked a question and I give you a straight answer. I don't like them. I don't like the form of content. It's not my cup of tea. But they're successful and you can't deny that, and everybody involved would work hard to get to that level, and they have an audience that clearly enjoy what they make, and that's it. I don't like them. Never have. Never been my cup of tea. Craig, would you consider Lookman from Atlanta after Salah leaves? I think Ademola Lookman is linked somewhere else, if I remember correctly. Yeah, I can't remember where, but I'm sure I read or heard something about Lookman the other day. Problem most teams have a star attacker they can count on. I don't know if any of our boys can step up like that. Maybe Darwin when he puts it all together. Yeah, I think Darwin can. Look, we're not going to get another Mo. Mo's unique. You know, we've been blessed to have him and have that consistency of assists and goals and impact on games. So, yeah, look, when I think about the next person to come in after Mo, I'm definitely not expecting them to do Mo numbers. What's your opinion on other Irish Liverpool fan channels like Mr. Paddy Murphy and Jonathan Morley? Fuck you is my answer to Mr. Paddy Murphy, first and foremost. I've nothing to say about Jonathan Morley. Seems like a decent fella. But Paddy's irrelevant. He likes to think he's more relevant to me, which makes me laugh. But he was relevant because I allowed him to be relevant. Simple. I'm the daddy. Remember that. Jonathan Morley, look, he's always been nice to me when he's messaged in or ranting. I don't want to say a word about the man because I don't know him. But I gave Paddy a chance. Paddy shit the bed. End of story. That's that. Could have been living a good life now if he had been able to keep his mouth shut. But he wasn't. And he will never be. That's on him. Simple as that. I know he still likes to talk about me, badmouth me, moan about me, say everything's my fault, talk about me never leaving the house. Do all the talking you want. I don't give a fuck. I'm the successful one. I'm sitting here with nearly 250,000 subscribers. I'm going to Boston to do a show. I'm enjoying my life. Get on with yours and just leave my name alone. That's my answer to anybody. Just you do you, I'll do me. And stop looking to blame me on everything. Any more questions for me? I feels like you're trying to land me in trouble tonight with these questions, but you know, sometimes I'm too honest for my own good. The Irish guy is a good one. He's a great one. Michael Ramsey's a gentleman, a great content creator, a funny guy, a nice guy. Jonathan Morley's weight loss has been insane. Yes, it's brilliant. Full credit to the man. I did see his weight loss, and that I do feel comfortable talking about. Yeah, he looks brilliant. Well done, Jonathan. I'm proud of you, mate. I don't know you, proud of you. Having gone through a weight loss journey previously myself, he does look really, really well. So well done on that, Jonathan, definitely. What's my opinion about pineapple on a pizza? Not for me. Not for me. Yeah, my wife would eat it, but not for me. I was watching the Rovers Pats game. Marcello, the shocker for the third goal. Feel for the chap. Yeah, I'm definitely going to try and get out to Inchicore to watch him at some point this season. Can't have him over in the league and not go give a look at him, see if he's up to the standard. What about broccoli on a pizza? No, broccoli shouldn't be on a planet, let alone a pizza. Eat broccoli or watch a City game. I probably just edge watch a City game because I really detest broccoli. What's my favourite Eminem song? Toy Soldiers, maybe. Lose Yourself. One of those two, probably. Juventus is the club looking at Lookman. Thank you, Harry. I knew there was somebody who was looking at him. Do I like Billy Idol? No, not my cup of tea. Yeah, Billy Idol definitely is my cup of tea. And it was a bit before my time as well, to be fair. He's the nice day for a white wedding guy, isn't he? Who's your favourite Brazilian non-Liverpool player? Ronaldinho. Did you watch the Sky thing with Carragher talking tactics with Xabi Alonso? No, haven't got around to it yet, but I certainly will give it a watch. Yeah, it's right, my friends. I'm going to call it a night and go and spend some time with the missus and get ready for the game tomorrow. So I will see you guys at 2 o'clock tomorrow, hopefully, for the watch along, where we'll be taking you right through the game, match show, match reaction, player ratings, social media reaction video, all the usual stuff. Have yourselves a wonderful evening for the rest of the night, whatever it is you're doing, and I will catch up with you tomorrow. Thank you. Don't forget to drop a like before you head off as well, if you'd be so kind. Chat to you guys soon. Take care.